and Company, this is your Places Call for Top and Show. Stand by, lights 25 and sound 10. Lights 25 and sound 10. And go.
I'm Whitney Derendinger. I'm the fight choreographer for RASHOMON. In the story of RASHOMON, the fights play a very important part. I think of fight choreography as having two separate elements. One is the illusion of violence. So it appears violent, it appears dangerous, while in actuality it is keeping the actor safe. The second element of fight choreography is that it tells a story. I think of fight choreography in the way that some people think of musicals. When the words leave them, people bust into songs. And in my world, when the words leave them, they move into action. They move into fights and swordplay and unarmed combat. The play Rashomon presents a lot of really unique challenges that I've really enjoyed tackling. There are challenges of the style of weapon. There are challenges of the setting. But there are also challenges in that different characters are telling their version of the same events. And so each fight comes from a different character's point of view. In each fight, we see characters with different strengths and weaknesses being exploited or being played upon depending on the storyteller in that moment. So the types of weapon being used, it's a katana-style sword for the most part. When you think of traditional Japanese samurai, they have a long, curved blade with one sharp edge and a handle that's usually big enough for two hands to get on. You'll see that we have very accurate representation of those weapons on stage. We also have some very nice knife work by one of the characters in the show, but for a knife to be effective, for it to tell the story, you've got to be a lot closer. So it's a pretty long process to learn a fight. A fight on stage might last a minute, maybe a minute and a half, and on minute-and-a-half fights, in some productions I spent up to 40 hours just working that one fight with the actors. It's a pretty long process. I always start with paper. I hand them a paper layout of the fight, everything written from their point of view, all of the moves they're going to do. And then, as we get in the room, we get it up on its feet. I take the actors very slowly, sometimes with practice weapons. Sometimes we do finger fighting. So you just have your hand, two fingers like this is the blade, and we'll finger fight it to start to see just sort of the path of the weapon. We talk about safety, we talk about the safety precautions that are built into the fight and how we are locating our targets for the weapons. And then we build it step by step, step by step, step by step with the actors, and then it's repetition, repetition, repetition. There are specific rehearsals that are dedicated solely to stage combat. There are other rehearsals that are dedicated solely to movement, and we refresh stage combat in there. And then we also have fight calls, where before every rehearsal and before every performance, the actors are going to go through the fights in their entirety just to have another chance to get a rep in their body. When a fight choreographer has done a really good job, the fight doesn't stand apart from the play. It lives in the world of the play. So I want the fights to be an opportunity for these characters to have their story told. I always think of myself as a supporting position. I'm here to help the actors tell their story, not to tell the story of my own. So I hope the audience sees the characters.